How do you know you're using the right campaign settings for your in-stream YouTube ads? Well, in this video, we're gonna find that out. Stick around and let's get into it. Hey, I'm Andres from Linx Digital. In today's video, we're gonna break down the campaign settings. There's a lot of questions thrown around in forums and Facebook groups about, what are the proper settings that you should use for each step of the campaign creation. Well, we're gonna share our best practices for us that has worked for us to handle 6 to 7 figure budget. All right, so let's get into it. The first thing, and one of the most common questions we get asked all the time in our Facebook group, in our YouTube ad media buyers group, is what campaign settings should I use from beginning to end, right? So from a campaign objective all the way down to, which bidding strategy should I use, what inventory should I choose, things like that. So, it's important to break down the campaign settings on the different steps and understanding what I need to do in order to maximize the results on that given campaign, right? All right, so I'm gonna share with you guys my screen here so you guys can take a look. The first setting in the campaigns that we're gonna look at is the campaign objective, of course. So Google provides us with different goals for here, right? So we have sales, we have leads. Obviously, if you're running an e-commerce store, sales would be ideal. If you're looking for lead gen, leads would be ideal. Obviously, website traffic is still, something that's not as commonly used as the first two, but you can still use that. A lot of the big brands, they use the product and brand consideration. This is for those bumper ad videos that you'll see, right? And other, non-skippable videos and stuff. We have brand awareness and reach, same, very close to the product and brand consideration. Apps, if you obviously have apps, and we usually do create a campaign without a goal, actually. So I know that you might be thinking, oh, I've never used that before. Well, why choose that over sales, let's say, or leads? Well, it's because it gives you some flexibility, if you will, right? When creating the subtype of your campaign. So with the subtypes, when you do campaign without a goal, you have multiple options. You have a custom video campaign, non-skippable, outstream, drive conversions, right? So remember, we're a direct response agency here, and we do care about conversions and ROI and ROAS. So we want to drive conversions with our YouTube ads, okay? We have a specific naming convention, if you will, to keep the account organized. For that way, anybody that can come into the account, they can see, what the heck is going on, what type of campaign it is, right? We want to include the bidding strategy here. We want to put today's date, LD, obviously for Linx Digital. This is a cold traffic campaign. IM is for in-market. Just going to use the example here of marketing and advertising services. We're going to have multiple ads, so we just put multiple ads. Okay, if we had one ad, I'd probably put the ad name in there. All right, now the bidding strategy. Okay, this is a big question in forums in our Facebook groups as well. Can I do target CPA, or do I need 50 to 100 in conversions to get results? Well, the answer is that you can actually start target CPA right from the gate if you wanted to, even if you don't have the 50 conversions on the account. But it's possible that the campaign may not fire, hence the algo is not dialed in, and the bid may not be high enough. So you may need to start with a high bid for, let's say, if you're going to lead conversion, and you want $5 or $10 leads, you actually may need to start your bid at $50 or even $100 and get your campaign to serve, and then get data back, then bring that down accordingly.
Hey guys, before we move on, I wanted to talk about something very special very quickly. If you are interested in running or are already running YouTube ads, this is for you. I wanted to introduce you to a few people that are killing it with YouTube ads. Mike made over $1.5 million with e-commerce YouTube ads. Bastian did over $300,000 for a client at a 10x ROAS. Boyd's making $5 grand a day with his course. Kale made a client $40,000 from just $8,000 in ad spend. Lloyd made a client $33,000 from $12,000 in ad spend. Do you know what the one thing they have in common? They're all part of my Expert YouTube Ads training program. We have the most technical YouTube ads course in the market. with live weekly calls, a Facebook group where you can ask any question you want about YouTube ads, and more. And some of the best students spending thousands or even $10,000 a day on YouTube advertising. So there's a link below in the description to go book a demo call. Go and book a call to get a preview of the course and see if it's a fit for you and if it can help you get your YouTube ads to $5,000 a day or more. Now let's get back to the rest of this video.
Okay, we generally start with maximum conversions. However, as we've worked with clients, who can tolerate some throttle and spend and performance, the first couple of weeks we can get valuable conversion data back from Google, and then we just ease our way into target CPA. Now, let's get into the budgets and dates. We always do daily, and the budget is according to what you can tolerate. Again, we start with $50 campaigns 70 to 80% of the time. We have clients that are tolerant of spending $300, $500 a day. And then networks, we choose YouTube video only for what we're doing, which is in-stream. Anything else we kind of take out, video partners and all that. We just want to show people who are inside, YouTube. Location, that's self-explanatory. Based on the offer, we'll choose that location. If it's the UK or if it's the US, we'll select the locations accordingly there. And we actually have a video about the location targeting, so be on the lookout for that here. It kind of breaks down a different optimization pieces in that regard. All right, so in terms of the inventory, so just, it's important for you to read through and exactly what that means. So, here we have maximize available inventory by showing ads on some sensitive content. So with YouTube, you need to have clear that they do break down and categorize their content based on the different levels of sensitivity against to the viewers, right? So like if there's a video where there's, I don't know, Jake Paul's channel or something, right? And he's always cursing and doing all this stuff, like he's probably within that expanded inventory, right? So, there's excessive profanity, there's, here we have graphic sexual content and nudity. Obviously with YouTube, they don't allow nudity, but, close to that, right? Nothing to elaborate too much here with the expanded versus standard or limited. Obviously we always go with standard, and typically we do get results. The expanded, sometimes we get a little bit more, there's more traction, you get more impressions, therefore there's possibility of getting more clicks. It's just the type of content that your ad is being shown in, right? There could be somebody watching some violent videos, on YouTube, and they'll get the ad. And then there's people watching just regular music videos and stuff like that. That'll be like in the standard. So, so we go with standard there, okay? Let's go to the exclusions, excluded types and labels. We normally exclude the embedded YouTube videos. So these are the ones that are normally videos that are embedded on a website. Live streaming videos, if they're on live streams, they normally don't like to get interrupted with that. General audiences, makes sense. So general audiences, there's a lot of kind of like kid videos and things like that. So we like to kind of remove those. Next thing is Sidelink Extensions. We haven't really used a whole lot of Sidelink Extensions on YouTube side. We are testing a lot of these out. Click-through rate is slightly higher at times, but in terms of conversions, we haven't seen a whole lot of difference. And normally with our offers, and I think you guys can relate, is you're sending people to just one specific landing page. And let's say you don't particularly want to send them to a website because maybe the offer is not relevant. But in the case that you're a brand like, there's an ad that I've been getting served as of late called ClickUp. Basically, they have, different four or five Sidelink extensions. One of them is like, start your free trial here. Another one is review the features, right? And it actually takes them to different landing pages, different parts of their website, right? So, if you have a nicely built website with different pages and, the offers are relevant, then use the Sidelink extensions, right? And we have tried Sidelink extensions for, let's say, like a quiz funnel. but we just direct people to the actual, like the same page, but just the Sidelink Extensions, the copy, it's slightly different, right? So like, hey, find out your body type here, or try this free quiz here, right? But they'll direct to the same place. Like I said, we didn't really see a whole jump in conversions in that aspect, but it's something that you can test out for sure. All right, so now you want to make sure that you click the additional settings, so that way you can ensure that you're setting up the conversions or setting up the campaigns with the proper conversion optimization here, right? We use account level settings for conversion, and we've actually covered that in previous videos, so you can take a look at that. All right, let's move on down here to the ad. If you want to just target people, let's say just using phones, right? Let's say if you just want people to install your app, you want people that are on their phones, right? For the most part. So you can do that here. You can just select which devices you want to target. We normally keep all devices open. And then from there, depending on the data that we get back, we'll isolate campaigns based on device. So the frequency capping, that is a common question we get. We typically choose 3 impressions per day and 2 views per month per person. So this is essentially, trying to limit the amount of times that our ad is being shown to people that are, let's say, unqualified, right? People that aren't really taking action on our ad. So, that's why we go with these settings here, to just get people that are basically taking action, right? People that, if they see an ad 3 times and they haven't taken action, it's most likely that they won't take action, right? In theory. So that's what we use frequency capping to avoid that. So the ad schedule, we typically have it all day. Unless this is a local offer where, you're open certain days, and let's say you want to push budget on the weekends, then we just leave it at all day, okay? Ad group type. Standard, this is the regular in-stream ad that we normally go for, or that we always use really. But you do have the responsive, or also known as the video action ads. These are the ones that are shown in multiple formats, like a discovery ad. So it looks like a discovery video ad. So like when you're browsing through your video, or let's say browsing through videos on YouTube, and you see recommended video at the bottom, you'll see that it's an actual video, but it's a video ad, right? And you can actually click through. That's the video action campaigns, okay? So if you select responsive, you're gonna be required to add in like some headlines and description on that one. But the one that we use is the standard. That's the one with the button, just a simple, the call to action, and a shorter headline, right? I think like 15 characters long. We move past that here. And obviously the ad group name, we name it based on the audience type, because we typically do use just one audience per campaign. We can venture out later on, and we can try out different ad groups within one campaign. What we've seen has worked well for scale has been one audience type in one campaign, in one ad group, okay? All right, now the demographic. Obviously here's where you really wanna have clear what your target audience looks like. If you have an empathy map, you can take a look at that and translate over that into the campaign settings, right? If you're not targeting 18 to 24-year-olds, then, just exclude them. For the most part, a lot of the offers that we have, we leave 18 to 24 out. There's certain offers that, where we just need to take out the lower 50%. All this will be relative to who you're trying to reach, right? And then audiences, obviously here, this is where we choose which target audience we want to go for, right? So makes sense, very simple. You have the different options here to select the in-market audience. You can select your custom audiences, your remarketing audiences from here. As you can see, remarketing, custom audiences, these are some that we've created. The in-market are Google's audiences, right? Audience expansion, we leave that off for the most part. Show your ads so more people are likely to convert. Many people may choose that. We don't choose that. We just want this specific type of audience. When you click that, well, the algorithm at the beginning, especially if it's unlearned, it can kind of go and show the ad to other people. They're likely to convert, but we typically leave that off. we do experiment with leaving it on in some campaigns. That was it, and that's pretty much the campaign settings tutorial here. Best practices that we use here at the agency. Many of you may have your own way of doing this and may be getting your results. Hey, would love to hear from you and share your what you know in the comments, and maybe things that you didn't agree with. Go ahead and share them with us as well. We're happy to have a pleasant debate on whether that the campaign setting is better than the other. But in reality, there's really not a right or wrong answer or proper way to do this. There's just different things that you can test, right? Just like if you're testing an ad creative with campaign settings, you can also do that. That's why those variables are important when it comes to media buying, even from a campaign setting standpoint. You can start with, let's say, standard inventory, with all these best practices that we have here. If that doesn't give you results, well, try expanded inventory, right? As one test, one variable. Try to always just maintain everything consistent and then just change one variable, right? That's one rule of thumb that I normally go by, and see what happens, right? Oh, you have maximum conversions as the bidding strategy? Well, try target CPA as your bidding strategy, and just measure results, okay? So that's it, there you have it. I hope that you guys get some value from this, and don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, turn on your notifications to get notified when we drop some more YouTube ad bombs. We'll see you on the next one.